All right, and we are back today with another one from you guys, really diving into some of the guys that were on campus this past weekend for Oklahoma. And today I am joined by Xavier Ukponu. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm just chilling. So yeah.
All right. All right. Well, I love to hear it. So I have to ask your last name. Are you from here or are you from somewhere else?
Oh, I'm from Nigeria.
Okay. Now, where are you from, Nigeria? How did you end up in the United States?
Okay, so I'm from Lagos, Nigeria. It's a city, and I moved here because my mom's American, so we was always gonna move over here. So yeah,
Okay.
that's really it.
And when did you move here?
2 years ago,
Okay.
like in October 2021.
Okay. And what was like I guess like what's the biggest difference between living in Nigeria and living in America? Like was there a huge
Uh,
like difference?
there wasn't really that big of a difference. It's just like yeah, football. There's football over here. Sports is taken more seriously here, for sure. So I mean, yeah.
Well, it's definitely really cool. We've had a couple of
And
guys on.
food difference.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, hold on. So what's your favorite American style food?
Uh, Probably Alfredo, chicken Alfredo.
Okay. That's actually my fiance's favorite food. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, no, we've had a couple other guys on the podcast that are from different countries, and it's so
yeah,
cool to like learn about how you guys ended up here and hear your
yeah,
guys' takes on the difference. So it's cool because
yeah,
obviously I've been in America my whole life, so it's like I don't know anything else, but it's cool
yeah.
to hear that. So, but hey, go ahead. Let's start this out. Normally, the way I start out a lot of my interviews, let's start it off with a little bit of an icebreaker. If you could be any animal in the world, what would you be?
Uh, a lion.
A
The lion
lion.
isn't the biggest animal. He isn't the strongest. He isn't the fastest, but he dominates just off of his mindset and the fact that if it's like who he is on the inside, his mindset. So that's why I say a lion.
Okay, I love it. That's all you need to say. Awesome. Well, hey, Xavier, go ahead and tell us a little bit more about yourself, right? So, you've told us you're from Nigeria, you
Hmm.
moved here 2 years ago, but tell us a little bit more about you and where you currently live and where you go to high school.
I live in Denton, Texas, and I go to Guyer High School. I'm class of 2025. I play D line. So yeah,
And you're going to be a part of the 2025 class that's going to be coming in here in 2 years.
yeah,
You're previously friends with, I'm assuming you've been friends with Peyton Bowen and Jackson Arnold. I'm assuming you guys
yeah,
know those guys very well.
yeah.
Um, have they had any impact on your recruiting at all, or were you guys because you're so far in class, it wasn't really
I
a
mean,
part of it?
we talked, but I guess if we were like close, like I talked to Peyton a lot. We used to joke a lot with each other, but I wasn't really that close with Jackson. But I mean, yeah. So yeah,
Hey, well, that's just because you were going after Jackson to practice, so
yeah. And plus,
but
you're like 2 years older than me, so it wasn't
oh
really,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Well, man, I'm telling you, Denton Geyer, they're putting out some talent down there. I
yeah,
think you guys got Josiah Martin, who recently just
yeah,
got. He's going to be taking a visit up to Oklahoma this week.
yeah.
So, yeah, you guys are putting out a lot of talent. But go ahead and just tell us a little bit more about this visit this weekend. So, you got to be on campus. I'm assuming you got to meet Todd Bates, Miguel Chavis, Brent Venables, and the staff. So, give us a little bit of insight to the visit that you took to Oklahoma this weekend and how you ended up in Norman.
Okay, so I've been talking to Coach Bates ever since he offered me back in January. And we'll like come down March 25th for the Future Freaks Day. So I was like, okay. So I'm at the visit. It was just really fun, honestly, watching practice, watching how intense they practice. Like they really put in that work. I'm not even gonna lie. Really intense practice. They're always moving to the ball. Their defensive line is really fast and really detailed, especially like they're really, really detailed. And yeah, I just really like the practice. So, I mean, after practice, we did the junior day and everything, photo shoot. Uh, and yeah, but talking to Coach Bates for the position meetings after the whole junior day. It was just fun because I just got to pick his brain, and he just got to teach me some stuff I never knew before. So yeah.
It's awesome. That's awesome. So, you're actually, I think, a little bit out of the normal. So you got about 10 offers so far in the
Yeah.
2025 class, while most people only usually have about say 3 to 5. So you're doing really well so far. You've got offers from, it looks like, Texas, Baylor, Miami, A&M, some other cool schools. So outside of
Yeah.
Oklahoma, have you taken any other visits? Have there been any other schools that have really stood out to you?
I've taken a visit to Texas, Miami, and A&M, and Baylor. So yeah, those
Okay.
are really
And
those schools I've been talking to.
yeah, and is there anything that has stood out to you in those visits that you've taken at all, or has there been anybody that's went with you to those schools on your recruitments, player wise?
I haven't taken any of the players, but I just usually go with my family. But I mean,
Okay.
all of them, there's the ones that have stood out so far. I mean, it's still early, so I don't really know yet. But it's because it's still early, so I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, talking to the defensive line staff here at Oklahoma, obviously Bates has been known to be one of the better defensive line coaches in college football as of recently. But, you know, did they kind of try to explain to you how they would use you in a defense at all? Or, I mean, I know 2025 is still kind of far out, so I'm not sure if that's something that they're going to wait till later down the road, or if they kind of
Mm.
showed you a little bit of how they'd use you.
They don't even talk about using us per se, but it was just like just yeah, everybody's required to play all over the line. Really, everybody should be able to. That's how it teaches. Like, everybody should be able to play all over the line, regardless of like even if you're built like a nose. Sometimes you're still gonna play end. Even if you're blocking end, sometimes you put you down at nose. So I mean, you just gotta be versatile enough to just play from a zero shade everywhere down to a five. So yeah.
Okay. No, that's interesting because that better prepares you to go play in the league later on because you're going to be a
Yeah.
little more versatile. You can play multiple spots. I like that. Okay, cool. So, I mean, who was your primary recruiter this weekend? Did anybody take you around campus? Was there anything that stood out to you about the programs that Oklahoma has at all? Or
Yeah. It was mainly Coach Bates that was following me around, but I also talked to Coach Venables during practice, and he was just like hyped to see me and everything. So that really stood out to me. I'm not gonna lie, because it was like middle of practice while they're doing team drills, and he was like, "Oh, Xavier," shook my hand and everything. So that really stood out to me. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, just walking around with Coach Bates throughout the junior day, it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. What stood out? I feel like everything down there in Norman is beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, especially at OU. It was just like it's an experience. Like I recommend. I'll definitely be back down again for sure. Like it's just a wonderful experience.
oh yeah, you got to come up for a game, and it's got to be a night game because I'm not gonna lie, those 11:30 games or 11 o'clock
Yeah,
games, they're not as
yeah,
great as a 6 or 7 o'clock game. But
yeah,
um, yeah. So talking about the intensity of the practices, obviously you're seeing what that coaching staff is going to expect from you day in day out. Do you think that has some sort of intimidation factor on some of these recruits when they come in and they see just how hard this team is practicing and they know that that's what they're going to have to be walking into?
yeah. I mean, it's not intimidating for me personally. It's not intimidating. It's just like you have to work. You have to earn your stripes if you want to play. That's really how I see it. Like if you want to get on the field early as a freshman, if you want to play, make an effort. So you got to earn your stripes in practice and get used to it and adapt. I feel like.
Okay. Yeah, love to see it. So, kind of talking a little bit more about you. Is there a specific player that you kind of try to model your game after, or just somebody that you like look up to, whether that's their current NFL player, college player, maybe even if they're retired?
I have a lot. I have a lot, honestly. I'll try and name some of them. Uh, Jeffrey Simmons, Quentin Williams. In college, I'd probably say uh, Jalen Carter, uh, Jaquelin Roy. Uh, yeah, I have a lot. Shamar Turner for sure. Brian Brzee, Coach Bates. Coach Brian Brzee. So I mean, yeah.
Dude was a
And Tyler
monster.
Davis. Tyler Davis.
Oh, that's another good one. That's another good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Brian Brzee right now is projected to, and a couple draft boards, he's projected to land with my Chiefs. And I'm
Yeah.
okay with that because we
Yeah.
lost Frank Clark in the offseason. So,
Yeah.
but no, that's cool. I love to hear like who you guys look up to or model your games after. So, what is your biggest motivation when you play football, right? And going on these recruiting visits? What's your biggest motivation?
Okay, so for me playing football, just to get my family a better situation, just to like live on my dream. That's really my motivation. I make a name for myself. But for when I go on visits, my biggest motivation is like to find a school where I can be developed, I could get a good education. Like that's really the two things I look for. And a place that makes me feel like I'm at home. That's what I look for.
Okay, I love that. I love that. Now, when you're looking for a place to call home, what's more important to you? Is it going to be recovery facilities? Is it going to be practice field, like practice facilities? Is it going to be team lounge area? Maybe their meal prep programs. Do you know kind of what you're looking for in that aspect yet? Do you know what's the most important thing there?
It's not even the facility, it's just when you walk into a place and you can just feel like this is a place that I'm supposed to be at. Like that's the feeling. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, love to hear it. So, hey, Xavier, as we start to wrap this one up, I want you to go ahead and tell Sooner Nation where they can find you on social media.
Okay, so on my Instagram, you can find me at the one named X. No spaces, everything together, the one named X. On Twitter, you can find me at Zukponu, Xukponu. So yeah.
Okay. And I will drop your social medias down in the description below. And guys,
Okay.
listen, if you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and give this man a follow. Let's boost his follower count up a little bit. Sooner Nation's usually really good at that. So I'm
Yeah.
sure they'll take that challenge on. But hey, Xavier, listen, I really appreciate you coming on today, talking about your recruitment, and giving us a little more insight into who Xavier is. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Pleasure.